Alright guys, what's going on? It is January 3rd and it's a beautiful 52 degrees here in New York, and deer season is over. I've been hunting squirrels a bunch, but today I just got an itch to get outside and go for an awesome walk. So there's this really cool vista that we're gonna go check out today, so come along. So one of my 2023 New Year's resolutions, even though I'm not really a New Year's resolutions type of person, is that I really want to push myself to get out there and do the things that I enjoy. I think a lot of times, even on my days off or my days that are lighter with my workload, I tend not to do the things that I love. And one of those things, of course, is getting outside, hence why I'm going on this walk. I think it can be really easy to get into a rut and stay just so routine oriented that we don't push ourselves to experience novelty. And one of the things that I'm learning as I get older is that filling my life with new sensory experiences is really what makes me feel alive. So a big part of that to me is getting outdoors and experiencing the elements. So this year there's going to be a big push for that. Be interested to hear what some of your guys' resolutions are, if you have any, or not even necessarily resolutions, but just thoughts for the new year. Gosh, this is so weird. It's like 50 degrees right now, and even though it's January 3rd, it literally feels like spring. I'm seeing a lot of cars pass me right now, going towards this mountain that we're about to hike, and I think that's why this day is just so freaking beautiful. It's crazy. So last year, right in this patch of woods behind me, I got a shot at a doe and I missed it. And I was so freaking confused as to how I missed the shot. It was a super easy shot. Nothing seemed to be preventing me from making a kill shot. And come to find out the next day, I went and checked my scope, and sure enough, it was way off. Earlier in the season, I was hunting in the woods and I had dropped my rifle, not like really bad, it was just leaning up against a tree. And I think even just from that small little fall, it knocked the scope off. So I don't know, every year you're learning. So next time that your rifle falls or even tips over a little, I highly recommend checking it to make sure it's still on. I really did not realize how sensitive they can be. So you live and you learn, I guess. So right behind me here, the area just slopes down and it kind of enters into a ravine. There's a gully of sorts, and on each side there's a ton of bramble bushes, and I think the deer really like to hang out there. They feel safe, so really fruitful spot that I'm looking to get back into next year. I think there's definitely a lot of opportunity there. So right now we're at about 2,000 feet of elevation, and in this environment particularly, there is a lot of laurel bushes, and I find that this provides an immense amount of cover for deer. So deer really like to travel close to these laurel patches so that they feel secure, and I find these areas to be particularly fruitful to hunt. I'm actually really stoked to come here right now. This has been one of my favorite hiking spots ever since I was a kid. I used to come up here, I mean, literally almost every single day, and there's just so many great memories up here. There's a bunch of cranberries in a cranberry bog up here that I used to forage for. Lots of high mountain blueberry bushes. So definitely a real connection to this place and super sentimental to me. So every time I come back here, even in my adult years, it just brings back such peaceful memories. All right, so it's about a mile walk just to get to the trail entrance. So finally now, we're on the trail entrance and beginning our ascent up the mountain on this old carriageway. Really beautiful. Because there's such an elevation climb on this hike, I'm planning to get one of those rucksacks and fill it with like 50 pounds and basically ruck all the way up to the top of the mountain. I think it's going to be really good training for hunting and just for building overall stamina. I've heard it's an incredible modality to build endurance, and I'm all about getting myself in shape for the hunting season. All right, final ascent. We're gonna climb up this little lemon squeeze here. Whoa, check it out, there's a ton of ice. Alright guys, we made it to the top officially, about 1.5 miles from the visitor center. You can actually see the visitor center down there. You can see it way off in the distance over there. Absolute windy situation up here, but it's so beautiful, not too cold, and just enjoying every moment of it. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to walk around the lake. That's about another 1/2 mile or so from here, and then it's about 1 mile around the lake. Tons of these dwarf pitch pines here behind me. You can see they have this almost stunted appearance because they grow at such a high elevation. Really interesting. So a few years back there was a huge fire here on the ridge, and you can still see some of the remains of those burned pitch pines here in this little field. So good. Really glad I came on this walk. I don't know if you guys can relate, but I find that it takes a little while to become present when I'm outdoors, either hunting or hiking. And then about like an hour or two in, something happens to my senses and I'm able to just calm down, and then I just become more in tune with the environment. I stop thinking about all the things that I need to do, all the things that I have to get done, and I'm just present. I think it takes a little while when we first get outdoors, separated from our technology, to just tap in to our senses and the natural environment around us. So, but yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that, but I certainly have, and it's something that I've been thinking about lately as it relates to our place in nature and society presently, and how, because we are so inherently divorced from nature on a daily basis, at least most of us, you know, most of us work inside and in front of our computers, that it's funny when we get back into the outdoors, into our natural habitat, if you will, it almost feels like a little bit of a foreign place until we really tap in and just let ourselves become present. All right guys, thanks for joining me on that walk. That pretty much completes it. We're almost back to the parking lot. I am the adult onset hunter, but don't worry, I'm not the only adult onset hunter. You could be one too. I know there's more of you out there just like me. We'll see you next time. Signing off. Cheers.